Family. Steve Copeland. Steve Copeland. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Scares me. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. I was picking with my son today. He was like, Dad, why you always singing your song? I said, Steve, that's my song. My Couch Conversation song. That's my song, son. My Couch Conversation show. Everybody sings the Couch Conversation show. Singing the Couch Conversation show. Yeah, baby. Well, I ain't feel like coming down today. I start to stay upstairs and just chill out. I start to just chill out for today. But I'm trying to stick to my weekly schedules. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 2. Mondays, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 4:45. The Couch Conversation show. And my Wednesday topic, y'all know, is keeping it real, right? But I said too, on Wednesdays, I was going to talk about the 12-step spiritual program. For some of y'all that might not understand what that is, I've been clean a day at a time. I'm closer to 32 years. I have 32 years, January the 26th. And I can tell you point blank, a day at a time, it works. So if y'all have any family members that's struggling with getting clean and staying clean, understand it's okay. Prayerfully, they'll get themselves together before it end up taking them out. I can share with y'all a day at a time. January the 26th. By God's grace and mercy, it'll be 31 years. 32, I'm sorry. I didn't expect it. I really didn't. I just know I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I screamed out January the 25th, 1993. God, please help me. But during this time, I had already sought some counseling. I went to Total Health Care. And the lady was like, you need to leave that stuff alone and look inside of you and see what's going on with you to cause you to, reach out for this type of stuff. So now, mind you, she said, you need to leave this stuff alone and look inside of you to find out what is going on with you to cause you to reach out. And the reason why I said that twice, because I'm like, how in the heck I'm going to do that? And she said it. You need to leave that stuff alone and look inside of yourself and find out what is going on with you to cause you to reach out. I was guided. She gave me a list. But I think the list she gave me was like for AA meetings. And I had stopped drinking like 6 months before, right? The I was stopped. I gotta watch what I say on TikTok. But I had stopped drinking 6 months before. I was shocked because I never ever thought I would stop drinking. Not me. But anyway, I ended up going to a NA meeting, and they said, we're going to love you until you learn how to love yourself. And I'm like, well, if they going to love me until I learn how to love myself, then I need to learn how to love myself. Enough not to continue putting that stuff up in me. They told me, sit on the front row, take the cotton out my ears, put it in my mouth. If we wanted to know where the cop, we'll ask you. And I had the information. Because I was going to raise my hand and tell him. He said, shut up. Take the cotton out your ears, put it in your mouth. I didn't know at this time. I was starting to learn to listen and listen to learn. Only thing I knew was what it was like to, go out there and hustle and do the things I was doing. That's all I knew. That old information. And you could not tell me that old information that I had was wrong. You could not tell me. That's why sometimes if y'all find yourself trying to explain stuff to certain family members or saying stuff to people and they don't get you, just keep in mind the reason why. Because we can justify whatever we're doing wrong and make it right. Even though you know deep down in your heart, your mind, your soul, you is wrong. But we can justify it to make it right. That's why I try to help people to understand that when you caught up in a certain thing, even though it's wrong, we will make it right. You could not tell me, and I know it was wrong. Stepping outside my marriage was wrong. But whenever I ran through certain little problems at home, I didn't want to leave the marriage. See, a lot of y'all will say little stuff like this, right? Well, you should just leave if you're going to cheat. You should just do this. You should just do that. That's simple. But the goal is to cause your life to be more miserable, not to leave this, but to go and make your life more miserable. Even though you having fun and killing yourself. Unaliving yourself. Right? Well, see, stuff like that, a lot of us don't really take to heart. We don't really take it to heart, when we out here and we doing the things that we are doing, we don't take it straight to heart. That we are doing stuff to, unalive ourselves. And I had to learn to be honest with me. And in that process of coming around, getting a sponsor, getting a home group, getting involved, my sponsor told me, he said, man, make sure you work on yourself because, the way you carry yourself, people going to come and they're going to ask you for help. That's one of the reasons why, too, I made sure I got to know who Steve Copeland was or is. I listen to a lot of people talk today, y'all, and somebody can ask you, who are you, or what is you like? Um, and most people will say everything else except for I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. Thank you. I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. But I understand too, there's a side of me that can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit too. But this is the side that I love to show out more. That loving, caring, kind, considerate side. See, I know what it is to be full of hatred. Um, I don't know why I was going to say racism, but not racism, but full of hatred, full of anger, full of jealousy, full of insecurities, full of distrust. I know what it is to feel that. But it's not just to feel it. It's okay if you recognize those things within you, but you don't have to act out on them in a negative way. That's the difference. That's the difference today. See, people, they want you to see this one side of them, knowing that they are a loving, caring, kind, considerate person, right? But then when you start acting, that other side show up. Now you're no good. No, I'm still the same person. You just seeing both sides. Now the point is, you see the loving, caring side, the loving, caring, kind, considerate side of me. Do you accept that too? Now, mind you, I don't want to be nothing like what I used to be. But I know that person ain't gone but so far. Or how can we say he's only arrested a day at a time? He's just arrested. That insecure, that jealous person, that rotten. When I say rotten, no good, I like saying rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit rather than cursing, right? That's just my way. But those are the things in this process I learned, not just that. I learned to build a relationship with the spirit. And early on, right, when I got into the church, I was this real religious type person. I was this real religious type person. But after about 5 years, I kind of weaned away from the church. I didn't realize I was starting to grow more in a spiritual sense, not just based around the religion. It was like I was searching for something more and something deeper, or let me say personal. Because once you start gaining a spiritual connection, that becomes personal. So that's why when you hear me talk about spirituality, and on Fridays, I might do a little religion versus spirituality, but this is how I learned to grow spiritually, to separate the two from my religious beliefs and my personal connection. And I thank God for that, because I understand everybody don't get that. But now, being in the 12-step spiritual program, right, my buddy Gary sent me a message and said that you need to go to a meeting. You need to go to a meeting. Gary, whatever God called me to do, I realized it's on the outside. It's on the outside. One thing I do know, when I start feeling in the inside that I need to be spiritually fed, I know where to come. That's the blessing. I haven't forgot that one. But I didn't just get clean for Steve Copeland. God got me clean to go back and help his people. And a lot of y'all might not like the way I do stuff. That's your problem. That's your business. They ain't got nothing to do with me. If you don't like the way I act, you don't like the way I behave, you think I'm supposed to walk on water, something wrong with you. It ain't me. I just thought about that one when I said that walk on water stuff. Because if you think in your head or in your mind that I supposed to walk around, and I'm going to tell you, as a man of God, a lot of the stuff I used to do, I just don't do no more to this day, just today. But it's not to say I won't practice certain behaviors if I choose to. It's just today I choose to practice some self-control and discipline. In other words, no, Steve, no. You can't do this today, or you can't have that today. You know, that's what it all boils down to. Learning to practice some self-control and discipline. And you have some people that's real good with it. Just saying, understanding the difference between their wrongs and their rights. And just don't practice certain stuff no more. And I admire that. I'm telling you, I admire that. When you strong enough to not do certain things, just say, nope, that's not good for me. I ain't touching it. I ain't gonna mess with it. I ain't putting my hands in it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Because some of us like to go, ooh, ooh, only to learn, I can't mess with that. That ain't healthy for me. And I think that's honorable. I really do. When you have people who can practice some self-control and discipline. And if your life is spiraling out of control, financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the blessing is, if you want the help, you can get the help to get balance back over your life. You can always get the help. But sometimes what we'll do, we will ask help for help, but then we'll tell help how to help us. If you already know what to do, then why tell help how to help you? If you already know what to do, then you don't need help. That's where the discipline, that's where the self-control will come in at. And a lot of times what we'll do, we'll start bucking the help. And if I find myself doing that, like if I reach out to somebody for help and I'm sitting up here fighting that help, I'll back up. I'll be like, Steve, come on, stop. Because the thing is, I reached out to you. It's like whatever I'm doing, it's not working for me at the moment. So that's why we tend to ask for help. But you don't tell help how to help. If what you're doing keeps backing you up in the corner, right? And once you get sick and tired of being backed in that corner, you're going to come out. Well, when you do come out, which I'm getting ready to go there, you'll come out fighting. But don't fight the help that you asked to help you. And I had to learn that. I can't see me all the time like this. I can't see this. So I will ask, or I will share certain things with others because you see me from the outside better than I could see myself because you're looking at me from the outside. Basically, I know what to do to go inside and do the necessary things to, help me think a little bit more healthier, wiser, work on certain things because I do a daily inventory, where I could sit there, all right, Steve. All right, bro, what's going on? Why is your stomach flipping? Is there something that I said or something I did that maybe I need to apologize about? Your stomach, you got the queasies in the stomach, God might be trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell you something. So sometimes you got to take that time out and listen as God speaks through you. Sometimes if you don't sit still long enough to listen, then I have to listen as other people talking to me and God speaking through them. These are the things that I learned over the years, being in the 12-step program. No, because right now, a lot of y'all know I'm on home monitor. So I haven't been able to actually go to the 12-step program like I would want to. I haven't even been able to go back to the church yet like I would want to. So on Wednesdays, sometimes I'll watch my pastor, like tonight, he'll be doing Bible study. On Sundays, I'll go to YouTube. I'll get a notice that he's on either way, right? I'll get a notification that he's on. So if I'm playing like a game, I'll listen, as he teach. That's what I've been doing for the past 23 years. You do not, that's if you choose to. You do not have to be in a building, because this is the building, basically, the physical part of us. But it's okay now to go and fellowship and mingle with your other brothers and sisters. It's nothing like, once again, that spiritual connection, that spiritual bond. And see, what a lot of us had to understand too, I don't care if you in the rooms, the 12-step spiritual program, or you're in a place of worship, it's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. And what I do sometimes, I ask people, right, have you learned to gain that spiritual connection? Because some of us we so caught up into the religion or the religious side of the doctrine, that we haven't gained that personal connection. We real good when it comes to the structure, when it comes to the tradition, when it comes to living accordingly. But when it comes to that spiritual connection, have you gained that spiritual sense? A lot of people haven't gained that. Now, I feel privileged. I do. Because not only do I have a little religious knowledge, it's because of my spiritual connection. And that means more to me than anything else. That means more to me. My spiritual connection. Because what I started realizing, that's something personal. You can sit here and know history and, ancient history, and you might be a history buff. I'm not down with a lot of that. But if you read something, I can basically break it down. Now, the reason why I said, a lot of times when I hear certain things, well, say quotes from scripture, right? It's like I get a personal experience with it throughout my life. It's something that somebody else talked about in their story. That's how I look at it. It's a story, right? Different time frame, all that type of stuff. It ain't like it is in 2024. We have more access to stuff than they did back then. Even when it comes to traveling around, cell phones and all this type of stuff. So, be honest, it's not that I try to put my life in that category, because I can't. I wasn't here over 100 and something years ago. Or let me say, over 63 years ago. I'll be 63 in February. So I can only go from that, from 62 to where I'm at, right? I ain't trying to go back to like my great grandfather and all that type of stuff and how they lived and what went on in their lives. Thank God that him and my great grandmother was able to make my grandfather. The grandfather was able to make my mother, and my mother and them made me. So that's just how simple I try to keep things, y'all. That's just how simple I try to keep stuff, because we can complicate things. Um, I don't like a lot of the stuff that I see that's happening today, but acceptance is the key to life. And that's something that I learned throughout my journey. Hey, OJ. Acceptance is the key to life. Um, I used to walk around with a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurities, a lot of distrust. But once I started doing some work on Steve and I started doing some work on my insides, I began to learn how to love. I began to learn how to forgive. I began to learn how to let go of that resentment, that anger, that fear, that jealousy, the insecurities, the distrust. And guess what? I don't have to trust y'all. I don't have to trust y'all. I trust me. So once I was able to learn to trust Steve, then I felt a little comfortable with y'all. You get me? But I had to learn to trust Steve Copeland first. Sometimes I love deep. I love deep. And I love hard. And what I'm trying to learn to do now is not to love as deep and as hard. Excuse me, y'all. I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi. When I drink my Diet Pepsi, I get the belches. No, but seriously though. And I love hard. I love hard. I love real hard. And I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad thing, because it's not. It's just that sometimes we tend to love people too much that don't really appreciate what we have to offer. That's all it is. And I found that out through working on myself. Codependency no more. Codependency. Now, if you the type of person like me, you's a fixer, and you want to see people happy, you want to like solve their issues or whatever, but then later down the line you realize you can't. I ain't Jesus. You can't tell me sometimes I'm not though. But I had to tell myself. No, but 99. I might do a 98. Maybe 95. I'm gonna do 95% of the time. I'm happy, joyous, and free. 95% of the time. I gotta put a better percentage on it. But it's not that I don't go through certain things. I'm riding. I had to go to parole and probation. 62 years old. And they was in there trying to help me, right? The clients that was waiting to be seen. They was like, man, you gotta go right there and check in and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. I wanted to tell them so bad. Oh, y'all familiar with this, right? Y'all familiar with this. But anyway, I'm just saying that because people can tell when you are out of place. Some people know that certain people, it's like, what did you do to get here? You know what I mean? Because everybody don't do certain things to get put on like house arrest. And I know a lot of y'all might say, yeah, you had to have done something. You had no. And that was one of the things I was arguing with when I was over to jail with the correctional officers. I said, everybody ain't here because they committed a crime. Because in their heads, right, if you here, you had to have committed a crime. You had to have done something wrong. Even if you tell them the truth, No, that down sound right. Down sound right. You had to have done something wrong. And you know what? Just me sitting here thinking about that, right? That's part of the first step. We admitted we was powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable, right? And that steps talks about honesty. The second steps, we came to believe in a power greater than ourselves would restore us to sanity. That's open-mindedness. That's a faith step. The third step, we made the decision. We made the decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of the God of our understanding. I was going to say a power greater than ourselves, the God of our understanding, right? Now, mind you, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. These are spiritual principles, morals, values, principles that I had to learn. Even though they was there, I had to learn to practice these spiritual principles back in my life again. I did not realize that you can live your life being honest. Now, certain things, yeah, you might not want to tell. You just don't do it again. You just don't practice certain behaviors again. If you get away from it this time, scot free, clear, don't do it again. It's to learn from your mistakes. If you keep practicing old behaviors, you're going to pay the consequences that comes along with them. I was listening to, I'm not even going to throw your name out, but they were talking about 1994 when um I don't know. I don't know, was Biden the vice president or something back then, 1994. That was almost 30, that was 30 years ago. They was talking about how, I guess, so many um, melanated men was arrested for committing crimes, even though they got prosecuted for their crimes. But they threw it at Joe Biden. And I'm like, do you realize what you just said? They did the crime. Now, I could see if they said so many innocent men was incarcerated for stuff that they didn't do. It would have been a different scenario. But then when they said what they did, it was just to make him look bad. Anytime a person commit a crime, they choose to commit that crime to break the law. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I wanted to come back so bad and say, well, some YTs locked me up for some stuff I didn't do. Now, that's why I said there's a difference when you commit the crime and you got charged or locked up for something that you didn't do. But people want to say stuff to make that individual look bad. I ain't say nothing. I let it. I said I ain't even gonna touch it. I ain't even gonna touch it. And I left it alone because I noticed whenever, like, if I came on here and I start talking a lot of negative, so many people will be tuning in. But when you come on here, you try to share words of encouragement, motivation. When you share stuff like, here it is, and y'all know I have to watch certain things because I'm on my Restream on my tablet, and I'm on my TikTok on my iPhone, right? So I have to watch certain words that I use on TikTok, because they will ban you, which it would just be TikTok. I won't be live on. I'm so dumb. I'm so retarded. But yeah, but because no matter what, y'all, my whole thing is mainly for where I came from. I started out doing this when I was 11. Started the alcohol when I was 13. I didn't get clean till I was 30. I worked, I did what I did, summer jobs and stuff like that, regular little jobs. But it wasn't consistent until I got clean. Once I got clean, I was able to work a job and work it for years. You know what I mean? Not just working for 6 or 7 months or 3 months and then decided to quit, stuff like that. So I always kept a job. It was just being more consistent now. And that's why, for me, my goal is to help a lot of us to understand that no matter where you at in life, because I came out of school in the 10th grade. I went back to work on my GED when I was about 35, 36. I think I was like 2 points away from, I think you had to get like 225, something like that to pass. I think I got like 223. And I felt good about it, only because I had went back, to work on getting it. But by this time, I was in truck driving. So I was making pretty good money. And that's all I wanted to get to right now, where even though you might not like finish school and went to college, thank God all of my kids did, right? Finished school and went to college, right? And I'm saying that because I didn't, but I made good enough money to provide for my family. They didn't want for nothing. Like right now to this day, they still don't want for nothing. They can do a lot better than what they're doing, like taking care of their fault. But no, let me stop. I'll be like, yeah, because y'all need to. I'm retired. I retired. January the 6th will be 5 years. I retired from trucking. Only because I had to go back on insulin. And I needed to focus more on getting my health together. Um, I could have kept driving, but it just felt right at the time to go ahead and retire. And people kept telling me it's okay to retire too. But anyway, um, and that gives me time to do what I do. Now, now on my Facebook page, I love Baltimore City. I put my life on the line for Baltimore City. And I know a lot of y'all don't. Hey, and that's not to knock you, not to cut nobody down. I was called, real simple. And I shared it, and I'll share it, and I'll share it. I was sitting up in the balcony at the Church of the Redeemed. The Holy Spirit hit me and said, the Holy Spirit hit me and said, I need you more out there than in here. And I was like, no, I ain't going out there, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I was already in the streets encouraging our young men and women, trying to guide them in the right direction. I'm already doing it. But it was, but you know how you do stuff and you just don't pay attention to what you're doing, but you're doing it, right? So I'm like, I don't go out there, blah, blah. So I've been in the streets since then. Now, because I am a very passionate, emotional, very, very emotional, sensitive person, right? I know my behavior to a lot of y'all seemed like it was off the chain. But what I was trying to tell y'all in the process of anything I could say out my mouth, anything that goes with anybody, anything a person can say to you to try to beat you down or tear you apart, you let them know you better than anything they can say out their mouth. Y'all took it wrong. They took it wrong. And I ended up with some titles. Mainly when I seen what was happening with the Myers. See, a lot of y'all got slam dunked and didn't even realize what was going on. But got mad with me because I went out to Middle River. I went out to Middle River, right, to support the Black community. That's what we do at Communities United. And you know what? If that's you, Devin, you need to get a life, bro. You need to get a life. You get ready to get blocked, bro. You need to get a life. Go back over there with Larry. This dude, Devin, will create pages. I don't know what's wrong with Devin. Devin will create pages. You crazy. He will create pages and he follow me. Why do you feel like you need to do that? You're a grown man. What, you about 50-something years old, man? Because I don't think you're 60 yet. What you say? You is so, it's so retarded. You retarded, Devin. Talking about somebody open the door. He retarded. Stop throwing me off, man. You ain't got, don't be coming over here plucking people's nerves. They don't know you like that. Stop plucking people's nerves. I was thinking about you the other day too. I was like, Devin ain't come up on my stuff in a while. Devin ain't come up on my stuff in a while saying nothing smart. But anyway, to get back to basically what I was saying, right? January the 26th, 2025. Somebody just texted you. January the 26th, 2025. I'll have 32 years clean a day at a time. And I'm only sharing this, right, because I'm only sharing that, right, because somebody need to hear. Somebody need to hear some words of encouragement. All right, bye. Take it easy, bro. When I see you, I'm gonna squeeze the mess out you. I got that picture when me and you hugged back then. The real Savage. Oh, what's up, Savage? No, I'm sitting up here. If that's you, Devin, I'm picking with you. Because I know you, somebody just, look. Since you right there, that's why Marlo says, Steve, I want you come and team up with me. Because he know I do women and children, right? Housing for women and children. And he do men. So he told me, he said, he want us to team up. He said, a lot of people gonna be mad. I said, yeah, I know. But that's a goddamn shame. You got a brother going around in Baltimore City. I mean, you got other groups out there. You got groups, but you got a brother who's staying firm by himself. We're strengthening the community. Don't have a problem in supporting anybody. None. But y'all give me pure D heck. Y'all give me heck. But guess what? Y'all didn't call me to come out and help the people. That was God. Or if you don't know who I'm talking about Jesus Christ. Told me, you can better help me out here than in here. So that's my ministry, the streets, encouraging and motivating his people. And guess what? When I come on here, I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for what? No, it didn't. Stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. Going to send me something talk about hate speech. Stop. I ain't say nothing about no hate speech. Oh, I think I just made a statement about them disliking me. That's why you put that up. Because when you look at it again, you're gonna realize it wasn't hating nobody. But anyway, almost my 45 minutes. My 45 minutes. Now I'm gonna have to send them a message to let them know ain't no hate, nothing over here. If I'm talking about how people dislike me, I ain't saying me disliking other people. Anyway, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by Tiki-Taki. But yeah, because basically I stand firm on what I see and what I believe, that a lot of people don't like it, and it's okay. It's okay. Because I realize some people are afraid to stand up for the things they want out of life. Sometimes physically, I get nervous too. I get scared. But the thing is, you got to stand for something or you're going to keep falling for anything. That's the difference. So, but I'm going to get ready to end this because I see I went past, I didn't get on till like about 4:05. So this would give me my actual 45 minutes. And I'm going to have to respond to this thing that came up on TikTok. And that's a shame. They'll come over here and see me talking on here, but then somebody else will come on and say certain little things. You don't flag that. You don't flag that. And that's when they need to protect us, protect our rights. When somebody want to come on your platform and say stuff to you on your platform, and I try not to read people's stuff, but you don't want to make people think whatever they're saying is not important. At least that's where I'm at today. I try not to go there with that today, right? Because no matter how you think or how you feel, it's important. But anyway, today, because I'm gonna get right in this, um, I was upstairs watching a movie and playing Mungie, right? Say now that's supposed to be for senior citizens, supposed to help calm you down, right? Um, Occupy your mind for us senior citizens. And I like it. And then I'm playing my little spades. I'm playing little stuff, trying to occupy the time. Little stuff like that. Because you got to do a little something since I can't get up and run around the way I would love to. But once again, and I am going to end this because it's almost at my 45 minutes. I do this because I want to encourage and motivate others, not just in Baltimore City. You can be in another city, but it's mainly for us that's dealing with the inner, inner city people that we see that's struggling the most to gain control back over the inner city. That's why I do what I do, y'all. You know, I grew up in the inner city. Thank God I was able to, I raised my kids in a different way, but I grew up in the inner city. So I'm used to certain things. That's why I give back as far as trying to help as much as I can. I had two women call me for the housing, right? Um, my friend got three houses. We just don't have furniture in them yet. So I wasn't able to continue feeding them the rest of the information. But once we get the furniture and everything in, then we'll be able to roll more in that area. But now for the men, we have the 40 to 50 beds. For men, you have to have some type of, we will get you medical assistance and all that type of stuff too. We will get you that. But if you come in, we can provide you with the services that you need. But if you don't have it as you come in, then we have to make sure we get that counselor or that social worker to help provide those things for you. And from what we was talking about too, I had a guy that called me with 6 children. And see, sometimes we don't think like that, y'all. I'm used to helping single men, women, and then women with children. I'm used to that. But then is once in a while I might get a father that will call me and have children. So a lot of times when I say I need y'all help, like donate a little something, you know, towards you know us helping people. If you have it, thank you. If not, thank you. I understand. So I'm not mad about that, you know, because I know everybody don't have it to give, mainly now, because it's just the holiday season and all that too. But the ones that can give and don't mind giving, um, if you look on my TikTok, you'll see my Cash App and my PayPal. Um, I got the white truck, which I got to get it up and running. I got to go get it off the lot because I I'm stuttering. I had to have it put away so they wouldn't tow it away. But and it's just getting everything back up and running again. So, but I am going to go ahead and get off. It's like when I don't want to come on, I come on and I stay just a little bit too long. But I still want to stick within the 45-minute schedule, y'all. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Um, and I'll be back up and running. I kind of miss that I can't be out to hang out with Cherie and them the way I want to, you know, because they be out there giving out the food and everything, stuff like that. So I can't pop up the way I would like to or walk with We Owls Us, you know, go visit some of the people that I know that just started programs just to show my face. You know, I love Baltimore City. And I want to see us in a more healthier place and space than what we're already in. So if y'all come on and y'all find it boring, that's fine, because it wasn't meant for you. Or if you come on and you hang in there, thank you. Thank you. But it gets trying sometimes. It gets trying. Because when I finish, I normally do 40-second clips and I'll send them over to like YouTube. I'll send them over to other little stations, right? Just for people to focus on a little bit. But I love y'all, and I'm gonna get ready to end this because I'm looking at it's saying 55 minutes up here, but it should equal out to about 45 minutes. All right. I love y'all, and I see y'all Friday, God's willing. Take care, family.